Hello, everyone. Some people contacted me regarding the video of the webinar that I did on 52,000 books sold and counting. And unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. So what I wanted to do is go through step by step, break these videos down in a very short segment, about 4 or 5 minutes each. What I want to start off with is the story that I began with. And we'll probably have to break up this video in two because I've got a limit in terms of the video length. But in 2004, I had finished up a master's degree in Jewish studies at the Siegel College of Judaic Studies, and I had published a work that was derived from my master's thesis. I was very proud of it. I was excited. I didn't know anything about marketing. I put it out there, and I sold something like 5 copies the first week. And I told my former boss at Texas Instruments, that's where I worked as an engineer, and a colleague in an engineering group, and they asked me, how many copies have you sold? And I said, I sold 5. It was the first week. And they laughed at me. And I can tell you that I remember that day even until this point. I mean, 2004 to 2023. But having sold 52,000 books now and continuing to sell, maybe 700, 800 books a month, I don't know that they would be laughing anymore. And the reason that that's important is for 2 reasons. One, I'm not writing in topics that are going to be necessarily popular. I'm not writing romance novels. I'm not writing paranormal or sci-fi or things of that topic. I'm writing about religious topics, about Jewish history. I'm writing about the Jewish and Christian relations, the Jewish origins of Christianity. I'm writing about, what is Jewish thinking, these kind of topics that are not necessarily the ideas that come into your mind when you think about thousands of books sold. And so the reason I say that I guess you could say as a preface, is that you've got to be passionate about what you're writing. You've got to believe in what you're doing. And you have to sort of endure the trials and the challenges that will come along. Maybe your book is not going to be a bestseller. I have some books, I have some novels that I tinkered with and I enjoyed writing them, but they really haven't, equaled the success that I have in my books that I focus in more on a historical context. But that's fine. I mean, you've got to be willing to put yourself out there and endure some of the challenges. And what I want to do in these videos, just very quickly, is focus in on the websites and the strategy that I used. So I think for the rest of this video, I'm just going to talk generally, and then in subsequent videos, we'll start getting into the actual mechanics of what I actually did. But in 2004, I basically almost, in essence, gave up on writing. I think I sold maybe a total of 50 copies of the book that I had published at that time. I was focused in on my doctorate and then on my smicha program. And of course, I was still working and I continue to work as an engineer. But I sort of put that aside. And then in 2015 and 2016, I decided to go back into the publishing arena. I approached the Jewish Publication Society with the book that is now Secret Jews, and submitted that manuscript. And Rabbi Barry Schwartz was very, gracious and just, very helpful and reviewing that material. Several revisions. They sent it back to me. I did some changes. I sent it back to them. We went back through this several times, and they said, "Listen, you've got a great work. We're going to need some additional changes. By the way, it's going to take 18 months to 2 years to publish after you've added in all the things that we're asking for." And then, I was somewhat discouraged. I mean, having, produced, a doctoral dissertation, 3.5 years, something like that. And to hear that it would take years to publish was discouraging. And then Rabbi Barry Schwartz said, you know what, you should also consider doing it yourself because you got a great manuscript. You've already put a lot into it, and I think you should consider that. And that was probably the best advice that anyone had given me. And in subsequent videos, we'll go over exactly how I did that and what I did to achieve the sales that I've gotten so far.